What is up? What is going on, folks? And welcome into another episode of America's Hometown Horror. My name is Mike, and I am your host. And as always, I am joined by my esteemed fellow co-hosts. Joined first by Andrew. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. And also Gato.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
What's up? How we doing?
Much. How are you?
I'm doing good. Actually, I've
Are you feeling a little wet
I've been better. Yeah, I was gonna say. Dry January came to a crashing end for me last night, and the old familiar hangover feeling has washed over me, and I can say that it is not fun. It is not a good feeling. So Kat and I have both quit, if you're keeping tabs, but Andrew, still going strong, right?
Still rocking, baby.
Yeah, I made it 3 weeks. I made it 3 weeks, which is better than no weeks. I've done the full month before, and 3 weeks is definitely better than no weeks.
Well, it's harder for you, too, because I don't have someone constantly nagging at me to drink because they're bored.
Right.
Yeah,
Drink with me, drink with me, drink with me.
Yeah. You're boring.
I didn't nag him last night.
You're boring when you don't drink, and man.
He totally made that decision on his own last night.
Yeah, exactly.
I had nothing to do with that.
Well, either way, welcome back to another episode, and welcome back to Janthology. We have another anthology movie in January to talk about with you guys today. That movie is XX, but before we get into that movie, I feel like we have to talk about Yellowjackets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Kat and I have finished it, and Andrew, you started it and finished it in, 2 days?
Within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Holy if you look at it, I started watching it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I finished it by it was 5 in the afternoon the following day. So.
All right, so I know we talked about it a little bit last episode and kind of gave our thoughts, but Andrew, what were your thoughts on Yellowjackets, which I absolutely, honestly, probably is one of my favorite horror things of last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite shows that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I think since maybe, because I don't watch too many shows, maybe The Outsider.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
It's up there with that, I would
yeah.
say. It's just really good. It gets going.
Oh,
I was so mad that I hate when you can start to figure out by the 8th or 9th episode of the season that you're not going to see all the stuff that you want to finally see. So you're I'm going to have to wait a year for this.
I realized that too, I was happy with the last episode. They definitely wrapped up some storylines that I wanted to see wrapped up, but I wanted to see more of it, and I'm glad that we're getting a season 2 for sure, because I wanted to see more of this story expanded. I'm glad this has kind of taken the internet and social media by storm. Lots of people are talking about it, so that definitely makes me feel good.
Definitely has that Lord of the Flies feel that you were talking about.
Right?
And kind of Alive, too.
And Lost, I think,
was that
right?
Alive? Was that the name of the movie?
Alive?
The book about the soccer team that crashed in the Andes or whatever it was.
Oh.
And they resorted to
I've heard of
cannibalism.
that. I don't know what the name of the book was, but that does sound familiar. Yeah.
It's Alive.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, but definitely vibes of that. It definitely has some Blair Witch vibes to it with the symbols and the stick figures in the woods.
Yeah, a lot of cultish kind of the ritual stuff going on there.
Yeah, the end of it definitely made you want more.
Yeah,
It's
gonna go to a whole other level next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because, spoilers, obviously, if you haven't seen Yellowjackets, fast forward a little bit, but I was saying to Kat, when we were watching the last episode, I was like, there has to be some sort of a twist where there are more people that survive this, more girls that survive this that they haven't showed yet. And obviously, the last thing they show in the entire season, the last, is when Nat, Juliette Lewis's character, she's about to kill herself, and she gets abducted by this cult, and come to find out that the person who drained Travis's bank account was Lottie, that fucking weirdo that has all sorts of weird premonitions and visions and all kinds of shit.
I'm glad that she's alive because I think that can help develop the story a lot more.
Me too. I love, because I thought for a while that almost kind of like the first season of True Detective, the supernatural stuff was almost kind of a red herring and just kind of helped deepen the lore of the show, but didn't ultimately really lead anywhere. I was worrying that they were going to do this with that show as well, but I'm happy to see that they're kind of leaning more into that cult aspect of it. I'm interested to see what is going to happen, and I also like that they did not show everything that happened in the woods all in season 1. So you kind of, because obviously the first scene of the entire show is you see one of the girls, you don't know who it is.
Yeah, because, they kind of make you think that it's Jackie.
Right.
Because of the necklace that she has on her.
Right.
But then she gave that to what's her name? Her friend.
Shauna.
Yeah.
But then Shauna's alive at the end at this period. So who's wearing that necklace? And how did they get that necklace?
Yeah. It's also hilarious to me that we watched the entire 10 episodes of the show, and Kat did not realize until afterwards when we were having a conversation over dinner that Christina Ricci was in the show.
Yes.
Which is mind-blowing to me.
Insane to me.
You put a pair of glasses and give someone a different haircut, and Kat's like, who's this person?
Well, I remember you telling me when you first started, when you said you wanted to watch this, you were like, oh, Christina Ricci's in it, you like her, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait, that's her. I didn't realize. Like, when Andrew said he was watching it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like her at all.
Yeah.
Well, she does, because it's her.
I get that.
She does kind of look like her.
Yeah.
No.
She kind of looks a lot
same
like her.
face, same eyes. Those eyes, you can't... Christina Ricci's eyes are amazing.
She looks great, by the way. I mean,
I love Christina
Jesus,
Ricci.
I can't even remember the last thing that I saw Christina Ricci in.
Casper.
Adam's Family Values, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck else has she even been in?
She was in Sleepy Hollow.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yep, Sleepy Hollow.
She was in that Lizzie Borden movie or show.
Okay.
I didn't see that. She's in a bunch of stuff, I feel like, that you don't even realize that she's in.
Yeah.
It's a great acting cast. I mean, I don't really care for Juliette Lewis. She kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
But she's good, and she's
very
good.
good in this.
Yeah,
she's
she's supposed to be that kind of
Her
wacky.
face always looks like she's having a stroke or something. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Between her and Melanie Linsky and Christina Ricci and the woman that plays the adult Thaisa, I forget her name, and I still don't have fucking internet at my house. Fuck you, Verizon. So I can't look it up right now. I forget her name, but she's great too. Yeah, awesome
the
cast.
cast is great.
And I think obviously anytime you're going to tell a narrative about two different timelines, one of the essential elements is that the child actors, these aren't children, these are probably they're in their 20s, I would say, these girls that are playing these characters, they're all great too.
Yeah.
I think they're all great.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I can't recommend Yellowjackets highly enough. So yeah, go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. For sure. Kat, have we talked about Hell House LLC since we watched it?
I don't know. I don't think so, actually.
It's really, really good. Did you watch that
we?
yet?
I haven't.
Did we? I think no, we talked about it last episode.
Okay, I was going to say, well, that's another thing we watched a couple weeks ago. That's an older movie. I think it was 6 or 7 years ago. Really, really good found footage film that's on Shudder. And also, I started that Archive 81 show that's on Netflix, which is the one that's produced by James Wan.
Katie was telling me about that show. She said that's...
Yeah, I've watched the first 3 episodes, and it's okay. It's okay. I want to keep watching it because I keep seeing online that people are loving the way it ends. So I'm going to keep watching it, but it hasn't really grabbed me quite yet. But yeah, so Yellowjackets, Hell House LLC, and Archive 81 are what we've been watching. Andrew, you watch anything good?
I don't know if I'd say good. I watched, again, I got home from work last night late, and I just threw something on because something I can half pay attention to.
Yeah.
I put on, it was on Showtime, Grizzly 2, The Revenge, from 1983. And it had, the teenagers that die in the very beginning, it's George Clooney, Laura Dern, and Charlie Sheen.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow. I'm like, they're all dead within 10 minutes. And it's just this grizzly bear, hunting down people because someone killed their cub in the woods. And it's got some really good thematic music throughout it, during the chase scenes and stuff like that. And then it's got some of the worst music I've ever heard in my life, because the climax of the movie is it ends up where the grizzly ends up at this giant festival, music festival.
Oh my god.
And they cut away. I don't know what is going on in this movie, and I don't know. I think they were probably just trying to fill time. But there's literally, it'll just go from the bear in the woods chasing someone to a band playing at the show for 5 minutes of them just performing. And I'm like, is this a real band? This is the worst band I've ever heard. And then it'll just go back, and then it will do it again. And I'm like, what is going on in this movie?
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers. I don't know if it was bad. I don't know what it was. It was just the weirdest thing I've ever watched. So.
You said George Clooney,
Grizzly?
Charlie Sheen, and Laura Dern?
Yeah.
Wow. They must have all...
Grizzly 2. I've never seen
Grizzly
I've never seen Grizzly the Grizzly, part 1. But I was like, Grizzly 2, The Revenge. I was like, this looks terrible.
Wow.
And I think they remastered it because there's definitely parts of the movie that look like it's been just newly shot. Scenes of the crowd.
Look at the music festival?
Yeah, because they did a quick panorama, and one of the girls looked like fucking what's-her-face from Schitt's Creek.
Oh,
the daughter.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, I didn't.
Alexis?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if it was actually her, but like the first scene is just like this hunter and he shoots the cub and like it's like the cheesiest like bullet thing, just like, and then it like shoots the mom in the head and the mom lives. I don't know how.
And that's the bear that does the revenging.
Yeah, I was like, what is this movie?
You're always good for a go-to crazy fucking horror
wild
movie.
card.
But I've never seen a movie where they just cut away from like action scenes and suddenly you're just at a concert and you're like, what am I watching? Weird.
Nice. So Grizzly 2, The Revenge.
Yeah, watch it or don't. I would say watch it just for the sheer fact that it's confusing and weird and I'm like, what is going on? Why is this happening?
There we go. Excellent. All right, cool. I'm hungover. I can't think if we've watched anything else. So why don't we just move on to tonight's movie? How about that? I got no news. I got no nothing. Let's just talk about the next installment in Janthology, baby. And that would be XX. So if you haven't heard of XX, it is not 1X shy of actually, it is 1X shy of a pornography film. But it is not pornography related.
And not to be confused with XXNX.
Yes.
It's a great porn site.
Oh my.
In case you were wondering.
Yes, so XX is a 2017 horror anthology movie. It is an all-woman created horror anthology, and when being developed, the film had 3 simple rules. The segments all had to be written by women, directed by women, and star a woman in the leading role, which all of these segments do. And Andrew, this was a pick from you.
It was.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about XX and your thoughts.
One of my favorite anthologies. I just thought it wasn't like it's horror. Really, it's definitely horror.
Oh yeah.
But it's a little more. It's like you would say elevated horror for the most part. Like 3 of the 4 parts, I think, are more horror that makes you think about.
Yeah.
It's more, I think, satire on the world we live in, which is kind of cool, but also. It was very well acted. All segments I thought were really well acted, well written.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you say that they have to be written by a female because the first one is technically it was a short story written by a guy.
Yes. I guess written for the screen by.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which we'll get into that further, but I just think it's great. Like the parts in between each.
Yes, I love.
Yeah, I know Kat
really
talk about that.
Those were because that's a lot of work. Like that probably only took up about 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
But that must have taken so long.
It was so creepy, like the dollhouse kind of thing and the weird. I don't know. I liked it. I thought
it was a nice addition.
Yeah. It definitely gave it that female touch. I feel like for an anthology with the dollhouses and the creepy stuff. Like I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. But, all right, cool. Kat, what did you think of this movie?
I liked it. I had no idea going into it what it was going to be like. I didn't do any research beforehand, but I thought it was awesome. I'll say the same as Andrew. I liked the in-between kind of segments. Those were cool. And I liked that it was all, written by women and directed, and that I think that's cool. Power to us.
Yeah, girl power. Yee!
I thought it was awesome. I think there were better ones than others because I think one of them, when we were watching it, I was like, "Oh, that one sucked." You were like, "Really?"
Yeah, I thought that was probably one of my favorites. Actually, yeah.
So I think that I'll have a different point of view than you guys, which I usually do anyway.
Yeah, I usually do.
Yeah, that's exciting to talk about.
Yeah, actually, perfect movie to talk about after discussing Yellowjackets at length because so Karen Kusama, who is one of the directors of one of the segments in this, she directed the last segment of the movie, is also the executive producer of Yellowjackets, and Melanie Linsky is also in another segment of this movie. Obviously, she stars as Shauna in Yellowjackets, so kind of a perfect way to talk about.
You can definitely too see like her style, Kuzma, because like it's very that last segment is very cultish kind of.
Yeah.
You know what? So all this talk about her recently, when we, watching Yellowjackets and then watching this movie, we really should talk about The Invitation soon. That movie's fucking fantastic.
That's a great movie.
And she directed that too, which I know you haven't seen. It's a great movie.
Fantastic. That's on. I think that's on Showtime. No, that's on something. One of the streamers.
Yeah.
Hulu. I think it's Hulu.
It probably is on something. And actually, so XX is streaming on Hulu right now. So if you want to watch it, you haven't seen it yet, definitely it's on Hulu. If you have it, check it out. It's there. You can watch it faux free, and by faux free, I mean with the monthly subscription fee to Hulu, so not faux free. I definitely liked this movie a lot. It was very strange. I feel like a lot of the segments were odd and very ambiguous. I feel like I could see why you like this movie, Andrew, because not a lot of stuff was explained, which I kind of liked, but I also kind of wanted to know more about what was going on, specifically in the first segment, or I guess not like the framing narrative, but the first actual story, the box. I wanted to know more of what was going on there, which we'll get into. But yeah, I liked it. It was 4 definitely unique stories. They were all very different from one another. Very good actors, like you said, Andrew. Lots of women that you probably have seen in other things that you'd be like, oh yeah, I recognize her from somewhere. So it's a very good cast, good stories, very innovative, well shot, well directed. And I was definitely very happy that I took an edible before I watched this movie.
Always good.
Because, again, I was doing, notice, dry January, not sober January, folks. Yes. So that's not cheating. So, anyway, I digress. So this movie came out in 2017. Actually, pretty good year for horror.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff that came out this year. A lot of movies that we've actually seen. Just to run through them really quickly. 1922, that's a Netflix exclusive, which is adaptation of a Stephen King story starring Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen that yet. Did you see
I've seen it. It's good. It's definitely I haven't seen it in a while, but it's slow burn,
slow burn.
Slow build.
I've heard that.
But it's a solid movie. It's nothing I really like that is like entrenched in my memory because it's kind of just it's decent. It's
okay, I'll have to check it out because I love Stephen King stuff, so I'll have to watch that. I will die on the hill that Alien Covenant is a good movie. I really like that movie a lot. And,
which one was that?
That was the one that came after Prometheus. The one that had Danny McBride.
There was Alien Covenant, then there was a third.
There was no third one.
Oh, there wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so I liked Alien Covenant.
Alien Covenant was awesome. I thought it was, and basically so that Ridley Scott directed this movie, wanted to do a third movie, and it was so critically panned that it's apparently never being made. And now they moved on to a TV series that's going to be made for FX, directed by the guy who did the Fargo TV show and Legion. Alien Covenant's a good movie, though. Really good alien effects. You get some of like the weird, like pre-xenomorph aliens. Like it's good stuff. I like that movie a lot. Annabelle Creation came out this year, which surprisingly was not terrible. The Bye Bye Man, which I've never seen.
I've seen The Bye Bye Man.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was like, wow, that's a movie I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a boogeyman kind of thing. The
Yeah.
Bye Bye Man. It's like something you don't talk about. And all
They
that.
like conjure it up in the house with like candles
yeah.
and stuff like that. I think that's like based off of like true, like not like a true story.
Almost
obviously.
like a Slender Man type thing.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
something like that,
I've
yeah.
seen
I've
that
never
movie.
seen. I know the movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like you clap or something, or you turn.
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so 2017 also saw the release of Creep 2. We covered the first Creep.
Creep 2's good. I like
Creep 2's
Creep 2.
decent. Yeah, I didn't like it as much as the first
The first one. Well, it's hard to because you kind of know what to expect.
Yep. We also got a new Chucky movie in 2017 called Cult of Chucky. Haven't seen it. Never been a big fan of the Child's Play or Chucky franchise. Never really done it for me. I guess if you like it, more power to you. But
I kind of like Chucky.
I don't know. I'm sorry. If a doll kills you, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You should be able to.
It's like Annabelle.
We also
I
got
could see like a flock of like dolls trying to kill
flock
you.
of dolls.
Flock of Dolls. A gaggle of dolls.
My new band name, Flock of Dolls.
Flock
Flock
Dolls.
of dolls. That's great.
Opening. They would open for Flock of Seagulls at a concert. We also got a Flatliners remake in 2017, which was bad, very, very bad. Another Stephen King adaptation. This is a year of Stephen King adaptations, by the way. This one's actually really good. Another Netflix exclusive. Gerald's Game. You watched Gerald's
I've
Game?
seen that.
Awesome,
I like that.
awesome fucking movie. Very, very good.
I think of the Toy Story Jerry's Game when he said that. The little short with the old man that plays chess.
Yeah, that's not.
No, it's not what I'm talking about here. I know the short that you're.
Gerald. I mean, I get.
I know what you're saying.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's
Maybe that's why they called it Jerry's Game.
I suppose. Also, huge release in 2017. One of the few horror movies to ever be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, Get Out, came out in 2017.
Get Out.
Movie that we've yet to cover. I know we've covered Us.
Oh, yeah.
I actually prefer Us to Get Out, to
Me
be
as
honest
well.
with you. But Get Out is a good movie, a very, very good movie that we should cover. I feel like once you know what the twist is to it, it kind of loses the effect. But it's still a very well done movie, and it kind of launched Jordan Peele's status as a director into the stratosphere. Let's see, what else we got here? Happy Death Day came out in 2017. I know Kat loves those movies.
I do love those
Happy
movies.
Death Day to you!
To ya! Top of the muffin to ya! Then we also got It Chapter 1 in 2017. What a fucking phenomenal movie. I don't want to hear about the miniseries.
I
Let's
won't
not
even
talk
go
about
there.
it. We also got the 8th film in the Saw franchise, which was titled Jigsaw. Never saw it.
Nope.
We also got this movie I fucking hated, and I know, Kat, I think you definitely liked it. And Andrew, I'm sure you probably liked it as well. Mother.
Oh, I love Mother with Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem.
Oh boy, did I hate that! Oh, I hated that movie.
That was a weird movie.
Yeah,
that was weird.
It was very, very weird.
Because I love her, and I remember watching it and being like,
"It's an Aronofsky movie. It's very artsy fartsy, very pretentious. Like I get what they were trying to do." I would even hesitate to call this a horror movie, to be honest with you.
I don't know. The end of that movie when they take the baby,
yeah, that's definitely. I mean, it gets there for sure. It gets there for sure. So also in 2017, we got the third installment in the Ring franchise, which was just called Rings.
Oh.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
I haven't either. I had no use for the Ring movies beyond the Ring itself.
I think I've seen the Ring 2, but it wasn't memorable, so I definitely did not see the Ring 3. Rings.
Rings.
Plural.
I think Sonic is
Rings.
Rings.
Sonic is the villain. Yep. Andrew, did you see The Killing of a Sacred Deer?
I did, the one with Colin Farrell.
Yes.
I love that movie. That's a really good movie.
So I have not seen it. I've heard very good things about it, and the cast is very good. So I do want to watch that.
It's available on HBO Max, I think.
HBO Max? Okay. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Kat loves Colin Farrell, so that's an easy sell for you. And then rounding out the movies for this year, I mean, good year for horror. Might be one of my favorites. It's tough to argue with it. Get Out, Alien Covenant, but it's The Ritual.
Oh yeah.
The Ritual's
fantastic.
Awesome. That's a great movie. Love it.
Why do you continue to pour your fruit punch water into your iced tea? It's the weirdest thing.
Like fruit punch tea.
What's the matter with that?
This is what the holidays are all about. 3 friends sitting around drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee while recording a podcast, and you're dumping your fruit punch water into your iced tea, and it's weirding me the fuck out. And I don't know why.
It's
just
so
it's not
strange.
I don't care. Why do you care what I do?
It's bugging me. God damn it, it's bugging me. All right.
Put it over there.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I got for 2017. And, I mean, in terms of this movie, I mean, I couldn't really find a lot of facts out there about it. But what I can say, obviously, the title, XX, this being an anthology movie that is directed and written and starring women, this is a reference to the chromosomes that determine the genetic makeup for a woman, a reference to the female-dominant crew behind the production of these short films. And that's what I got. So why don't we talk some segments? And I feel like first we have to talk about the framing segment, the framing narrative, which runs throughout the whole movie. And Kat, I know you are chomping at the bit to talk about this.
Why? What do you mean?
The stop motion thing that you loved and were obsessed with?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Oh, well, we got that.
I mean, do you want me to talk in depth about it? Because
we were watching the movie, you were saying, I can't wait to talk about this.
Well, yeah, because I like it.
She said, I like it.
I like it.
Okay.
And never mind.
Well, this is going to be like the second time.
Can you describe what it is?
I'm trying.
Okay, good.
So I was going to say, it actually kind of reminded me, now it's like the second Toy Story reference I've had this podcast so far.
Oh, yeah.
Of like
Sid's bedroom?
The doll with the
Cynthia?
spider, robot.
Sid's bedroom?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what his freaking name was yesterday because I was talking about
Sid.
Toy Story, and I kept wanting to be like Skid, and like, that's not a name.
Skid.
He's that shitty kid.
The Skids from fucking Letterkenny.
Oh, because I wanted to, actually, we never did this, but I wanted to go back and see if those little segments in between each episode had to do with the episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did or not,
did.
because I was like, oh, yeah, because like one of them, like, I remember one of them was like they wrapped up other dolls or something, and then I think that was the Don't Fall one, and that's when I first was like, do these actually connect to the stories somehow? Like, I didn't really know. I liked it, but I don't know how it actually, like, played into the other, like, segments, because it doesn't really.
I think it just was a way of just breaking it up.
Yeah.
There might have been some subtle things that, like, you wouldn't really pay attention to unless you watch it, like, intensely, but
it was a cool way to showcase some stop motion animation in a creepy way. I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very very cool. Very cool. So that was directed by Sophia Carrillo. And I know that, Kat, you like that, although maybe didn't have as many thoughts as I initially thought. So why don't we move on?
Well, I don't know how many thoughts you thought I would think.
You seemed like you were like ready to go. You were like, that was awesome. I can't wait.
It was really awesome. Yeah.
And then after you get the first portion of this framing narrative, we move into The Box, which is written and directed by Jovana Vukovic. And it's based on a short story, as Andrew mentioned, by Jack Ketchum, which I know you said that you've read.
I've actually read something.
Yeah. You said it was like 10 pages?
It's like a 10-page
Proud of you.
Story. And it's pretty much, they pretty much took that story and made it into this. The only couple small differences, there's 2 daughters and a son in the story. It's also written through the husband's perspective. Okay. But he's not the same husband that you see in the short story. He's essentially, they just replaced the husband's character with the mom. Yeah. And basically, so when they're on the train, it's the dad's with them. And then it's her lines are basically his lines in the story.
Sure. Okay.
Because it's almost like, it's third person? I think it's written in third person, so it's like through his point of view, like that would be
first person. First person.
First person.
Derp.
Derp. So it's first person through the husband's point of view, and now in the movie or the whatever, the segment, it's through the mother's eyes, but it's the same. She says the same things that he says, basically.
Yeah.
I love your notes that you have.
So if I had to describe the plot to this, it's very, very simple. Essentially, there is a mom on a train with her 2 kids. There is a guy with a box next to her son, and her son, this is around Christmas time, her son says to the guy, "What's in the box?" And he says, "It's a present." And he says, "Can I see inside?" And the guy says, "Sure." He lifts open the lid to the box, the kid looks inside, and then directly after that, the kid refuses to eat. Mm-hmm. Refuses to eat, going on like 5 days, which, by the way, they waited way too long to take the kid to the doctor. He wasn't eating. So basically, the kid doesn't eat. For some reason, it's never revealed what is in the box, which I kind of hated, but I also kind of liked in the same sense.
The short story is the same thing.
Yeah. So and then basically, so the kid, the brother, at some point whispers to his sister what was in the box. She stops eating. Yeah. Then the husband, who's just pissed off, tries to talk to the son. Son whispers in the husband's ear what he saw in the box. The husband stops eating. Yeah. They all stop eating. They all die. And then it's left basically the mom trying to find the man on the train with the box to find out what was in the box so that she can starve herself to be with her family. Yeah. So pretty fucked up story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But this is definitely a good way to start. This one grabbed me from the get-go.
It did. And kind of off topic, but not really. That guy made some boss meals, like aside from
the food looked so good.
I was like, it looked like he made the pizza and the chicken wings, and he had like the celery.
Yeah.
I was like, who's not eating this dinner?
Some fried chicken, some
fried
pasta.
Chicken. Yeah.
They had like a beautiful house too.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I was just like, wow.
It was. I was hungry watching this.
Yeah. Well, no, wait. What was the weird thing that I commented on about the food? Because they had like all this really nice like. They lived in this really nice house and stuff, and then didn't they have like all this takeout on like paper plates or something? And I was like,
well, maybe they didn't want to do dishes.
No, I know that, but it was something was weird about it. I forget what it was now that I
don't know.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, but all the food looked really good, and I can relate. I feel like to the dad when essentially he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Come on, man." He's like, "You love spaghetti. Eat your spaghetti." "Will you just eat your fucking food?" He's like slamming it. I'm like, okay, I'd probably do that too.
You
just
would
like eat for
that.
Christ's sake, for fuck's sake, eat some goddamn food.
Like the way that they looked in the end when they were so skinny, I was like, oh my god, that's just graphic and strange.
Very, very odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best scene was when the lady, she's having the dream and she's like feeding her family with her own body.
Yeah.
And they're like cutting off. I was like, oh god,
that's nasty.
They're just eating it like, I don't know. The daughter looks insane too, by the way. She looks like she should be eating people.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any guesses as to what might have been in the box? I have no clue.
I don't know what was in the box. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's just a satire on like how we take things like food, living in a first world country, for granted.
Yeah.
While the rest of the world, there's parts where people are starving every day, and we just take for granted that we have this food at our disposal that we can eat whenever we want.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I got. Maybe when he looked in the box, he just saw like from reading the short story, it seems like the box is nothing. It's just nothingness.
Yeah.
So like
Emptiness.
you see it and you just have no desire to live. So maybe you just see what the world is.
Wow.
Right, because when the kid's talking to the doctor, he says, well, if you don't eat, eventually you'll die. And he says, so? Yeah, so he kind of was just very apathetic towards the whole thing. It was very odd. Very odd. But I was a big fan of the second Cat. What did you think of it?
I don't know about what was in the box. I don't think that it was a thing. If anything, I think it was some sort of like spirit thing that maybe like would possess them to, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know.
A ghost?
Yeah, some sort of ghost or something that would like go and enter your body like a demon or something.
And force you not to eat?
Force you not to eat. But then, that doesn't really make sense either. So, I like Andrew's interpretation of it. I think that was pretty good.
There actually was a, Mike, you can continue talking while I look for this real quick if you want. Because there was a quote that's not in the movie. I don't think it was in the movie, but from the short story that I think kind of just gives you the basic idea of the story without giving you that.
Sure.
Can't remember what it was. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I should have had it.
Yeah, I felt like it definitely had that cannibalistic vibe to it when it was like saying like I'm not hungry, and then you're like, okay, so is this going to turn into a cannibal?
I'm glad it actually didn't go down that road, because I feel like that would have been. I was like, this is going to be like.
That's what I liked about it, was that it was just a very subtle thing. So this is kind of a long quote, but it's
okay.
So it's,
go ahead.
I have always felt a fundamental core of loneliness in me. Perhaps it comes from being an only child. Perhaps it's my grandfather's sullen, thick German blood. I have been alone with my wife and alone with my children, untouchable, unreachable, and I suspect that most of the time they haven't known. It runs deep, this aloneness. I have accommodated it. It informs all my relationships and all my expectations. It makes me almost impossible to surprise. That doesn't even make any sense the way it's written. It makes it almost impossible to surprise me by life's grimmer turns of fate.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
So there was loneliness in the box.
Almost just an apathetic view of everything.
For sure. Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Maybe it has to do with apathy. I think that's what the general.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's definitely a good way to look at it. Huh. Any other thoughts on the box, you guys?
No, I liked it.
All right.
That was a very good start.
For sure.
It draws you in, because then it gives you an idea of what the other segments are going to be kind of themed.
Well, I liked that none of them were any sorts of alike at all. Like,
they were all
way different, which was great.
Yeah, because you couldn't get more different from the box than the birthday party, which is the next segment. Total different tone, total different vibe, the whole thing. Yeah, so this one's written by Roxanne Benjamin, who worked on Southbound, another movie that we covered this month. Written by Roxanne Benjamin and Annie Clark, and directed by Annie Clark. So Annie Clark, by the way, is known professionally as a musician. St. Vincent. She has a song that you definitely have played on one of your playlists before. You know if you heard it.
Yeah.
She's actually won a couple of Grammys.
Oh.
And she's also a member of the band called the Polyphonic Spree.
Oh.
Which I've heard of. I don't know any of their songs. So yeah, I know that you really liked this segment a lot, the birthday party. This is the one that's starring Melanie Linsky. Very lighthearted in tone. So talk to me about the birthday party.
I liked it. It was bizarre because she's dragging her dead. I couldn't wrap my head around her mindset the entire time because she walks in and her husband's dead. And you're like, oh no, what did you do? And then meanwhile, she's dragging him around the house.
Yeah, rather than calling the police.
Why didn't you just call the police or something?
She didn't want to ruin her daughter's birthday party, I guess.
Okay.
I think it was basically to show that moms will do anything they can to protect their children from ugliness.
Except for when, at the very end, when...
Well, yeah. Eventually something's going to happen. That was funny. I thought that was comical.
Yeah.
This is very much a black comedy. I wouldn't even really call this horror at all.
No.
But, that's the beauty of this movie is that, or really any anthology movie, is that each segment can be so much different from the last, and it kind of just,
well,
just
the
different
maid
tones
was
throughout.
Weird, or whoever she was with the weird hair, and
I think
she was sexy. I thought she was pretty hot. I don't know if her hair was real, but I thought she was pretty hot.
I don't think her hair was real. But then I was like, is the maid having an affair with the husband? You were trying to kind of put the pieces together to be like, why is this all happening like this?
Because she was very weird. The nanny was very strange.
She was very weird.
She was kind of like she hated
Yeah.
mom.
Oh, yeah,
You
for
could tell
sure.
she definitely hated her. All the decorations around the house, black and white, black
That
and
was
white, black and
weird,
white.
too.
There's just a lot of black and white in this, so I don't know if it was like a... I don't know what they were trying
that is,
to say.
it's funny because we were watching it. You did comment. This is a very odd color theme for a birthday party. Yeah.
I
Like,
love that she just made her ghost costume out of like okay.
Why is she
Sorry.
dressed up like a ghost?
I know. Well,
Yeah.
that was weird. She's just like grabs a shower curtain and just cuts holes and is like, "Here you go. Now you have a new costume." Also, though, so the minute that she wakes up, the mom, she's in her pajamas the entire time, and then she's in her pajamas through the birthday party. Like she doesn't get changed. She doesn't like. I'm sitting there. I'm like, what? She's like in her like nightgown the entire time, and I'm like. So is this...
She's probably zonked out on some sort of, like, antidepressants or drugs.
Yeah.
Because she's just, like...
Yeah, it was...
whole other
it was
level.
absolutely bizarre, because I was, like, waiting. She's like, oh, people are coming over, whatever. And you're waiting for her to be like, oh, I need to go, like, change or freshen up or whatever. And then you're expecting her to be in something else, but she's in her pajamas the entire time.
Yeah, that was very odd. I was like... I guess it just shows she just did not give a fuck and just kind of gave up.
That also goes back to like what Andrew said, that mothers would do anything for their kids, meaning that like she's putting her
child
children
first.
yes,
Yeah.
before herself, meaning she can look like a mess.
Yeah.
But she's doing it all for her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I liked that segment. I thought that was probably one of my favorites.
It was just very weird, yeah.
Yeah, it was very weird. Very weird.
Also, shout out to Melanie Linsky. She's kind of been in a lot of shit that's really good.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's
Remember,
really
like,
good.
You know, she was in like 2.5 Men.
No,
She was the.
I didn't watch that show really.
So she was the, like the, not the maid or whatever, but she was like the one that was obsessed with Charlie, like when she was younger.
Oh.
She's been in a bunch of shit. She's really good. Good actress.
Yeah, well, she was in a bunch of movies in the 90s, too, and I can't
She
remember
was
any of them.
Yeah, I feel like this is escaping
I feel
me
like
now.
you see her all the time.
Yeah.
I have, morning after alcohol brain, and also no internet, so I can't look it up. Fuck you, Verizon. Fucking assholes. Any other thoughts on the birthday party?
No, I think that's it.
All right, cool. Let's
was
talk about Don't Fall, which is the next one, written and directed by Roxanne Benjamin again, who also, as I mentioned, worked on Southbound, first VHS movie, VHS 2, and also the underrated movie Body at Brighton Rock, which you can also stream on Hulu. That's a movie about bears as well, a bear attack.
Which one?
Body at Brighton Rock.
Body at Brighton
Since we were talking
Rock.
about Grizzly 2, The Revenge, or, Grizzly 2.
Which reminds me, they're making that movie about the coked out
Cocaine
fucking
Grizzly,
bear. I
yeah,
can't wait to
that's
see
directed
that.
by what's her name? What's her name? She was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. This is gonna drive me crazy. She's Beth. Yeah, what's her name? Fuck.
I know
Elizabeth
who-
Banks.
Elizabeth
Yes.
Banks. That's
Oh,
it.
I'm
Yes,
so good,
yes.
I'm
So
so
the
good.
Cocaine Bear movie. That's gonna
The
be coming out.
Cocaine
Based
Bear
on a
movie.
true story.
Andrew, talk to me about Don't Fall. How would you
Don't
describe
Fall.
the plot of this one?
This one just...
This felt like,
doesn't
while I liked
belong
it, yeah, I felt
in
like it
this-
didn't fit.
It feels like it's the one that's just like, where'd this come from?
I
Because it's
hated
just
it.
like, it's like actual horror
Mm-hmm.
with creatures and monsters and some sort of, she turns into a zombie. So it's basically this group of 4 people, mid-20s, probably somewhere in there.
Bunch of fucking hippie dingbats.
Yeah,
fucking
go out camping
tools.
in the desert. I mean, where are they? Arizona, Nevada?
Something like that.
Somewhere
Yeah.
out there. And they just find like this secluded campsite and they're just hanging out. They like to go for hikes and they're hiking and the main guy who's like gone does all like these trips himself. Tells her to watch out for these scorpions. The brighter they are, the more poisonous they are. And she gets bit or stung by one of the scorpions. And was it a scorpion? She did get stung,
I think so.
Stung by a scorpion, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
I'm
I
not
do.
incorrect.
I think I do remember that. But
Yeah.
they also see the painting of the.
Yeah, they see the painting of like the lizard people or whatever they
Yeah.
are, like those,
Werewolves.
Yeah.
or
The
Wendigos
little
or-
cave drawing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like
Yeah.
that live in the caves.
Yeah.
The lizard humans, the reptilian race that came to Earth.
Yeah, that secretly controls the government.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is them.
Do you know about that? Do you know about that conspiracy theory?
No.
That our government is run by lizard people that are in disguise. So
It's
it's
like
almost
crab people from South Park.
Yeah, it's almost essentially that, but it's like the plot of They Live, but like in real life, like people actually think this happens, that they're lizard people from another planet.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me if it was true.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
don't
surprised.
necessarily
That's
believe it,
hysterical.
but that'd be scary.
I mean, if you told me Donald Trump or Joe Biden were lizard people, I'd believe you.
Yeah, they're fucking weird.
Yeah, exactly.
All these people in power are the weirdest human beings I've ever met.
Yeah.
So there's something wrong with them.
Dude, Mike Pence, fucking weirdo, lizard person, absolutely. Come on.
See, there's also there's lizards on the moon too. You ever seen those?
There's lizards on the moon.
There's these people making look at this lizard monster creature, and I'm like, oh my god!
We are
I guess it
completely
looks like
completely sober, by the way, right now.
it's like 11 in the morning.
Yeah, it's 11 in the morning. We're sober as of right now.
I thought this had the best visuals, best
Yeah,
views,
yeah.
the sky.
So obviously,
desert.
you hinted at it, but the girl that gets bitten by the scorpion or stung by the scorpion turns into a werewolf or some sort of demonic creature, Wendigo, something like that, and starts killing all of her friends, killing and pillaging, all of that.
Pretty violently too.
Very violently, yeah.
When that girl breaks her leg too, that's gross.
Oh yeah, anytime they show
fracture.
compound fractures in movies. Dude, we were watching Southbound. That fucking
Oh
the
my
hospital
God.
scene. Oh my god! So I can't get that out of my mind. So fucking disgusting.
The leg just.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm a sucker for werewolf shit, and while I don't know if it was definitely a werewolf, I really liked this.
I think she was a
You
reptilian.
hated
I don't
it.
think she was a werewolf.
Some
right?
sort of were creature.
Yeah, scorpion maybe. I don't know.
I thought
A
it was
were scorpion. Wouldn't she have grown a tail if she was a scorpion creature? I don't know.
Maybe she did afterwards. Maybe she had to
Maybe.
eat the blood of those three people first.
Yeah,
and-
but I agree with you. Definitely the most straightforward horror of all of these segments, I think.
And this was this was Roxanne Benjamin, right? Who
Yes,
directed this one?
correct.
She actually did the birthday party too, right? She wrote the birthday.
She wrote it.
She wrote the
And she
birthday
wrote and directed this one.
party. Yep.
So, what about you, Catherine? Why did you hate this one?
I just thought it was. I just didn't like it. I thought even from the beginning, they had an open. None of the other ones had opening scenes. Kind of this one had don't fall. It was it just seemed corny.
I liked the opening scene when
I
it
didn't
when it was
like
fading
that.
out and you saw the desert in the letters.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
that
just
was
thought it
kinda
was
cool.
stupid. I think it was. I felt like it was forced compared to the other ones. The other ones just seemed a little bit. I don't know, interesting. This one just was, like you said, straightforward. There was no, it didn't make you think. It didn't make, the other ones kind of had something to it that were a little bit more deep than this one. This one was just kind of oh, okay, these idiots go hiking. This girl turns into a monster. They get caves. They're doing stupid things. Oh, well, this isn't on the map. Why are we here? This isn't the right thing. It was corny and stupid to me. But
Okay.
that's my opinion.
Well, anytime you can see hippies die violently, I'm all for it. So,
Well,
Gretchen,
Gretchen,
the main one,
yeah.
was she in The Social Network? Was that the girl from that?
I don't know.
Because she looked very familiar, and I forgot to look it up, and I just realized you don't have.
I don't have internet because fuck you, Verizon. If I haven't said that enough already.
All right.
Well, keep looking. Keep looking.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Don't Fall before we move on to the last and final segment?
No, that was the worst one. So
That was
that's
the worst
it.
one.
That's my
Okay.
overall
I
ending
don't
thought.
think it was the worst one. Last one is called Her Only Living Son, and this is the one that is written and directed by Karen Kasama. As we mentioned, The Invitation, Yellowjackets, and she also directed Jennifer's Body, which is starring the lovely, lovely Megan Fox. And she's also directing an upcoming reboot of Dracula for Universal Studios,
Dracula.
which I am fucking psyched for. I love the Universal classic monsters, and she's a fantastic director. So inject that right into my fucking veins. Her Only Living Son. You guys want to tackle? Want to give a plot description of this?
Yes. Yeah.
Basically, so one thing that I saw, the plot of this, Karen Kusama described this as a reimagining of the events that take place after Rosemary's Baby.
Okay.
So after the
Okay.
baby grows up.
Yeah. Well,
Because you've actually seen Rosemary's
I
Baby.
have.
It's the
Yes.
Antichrist.
The Antichrist, yeah, the son of Satan.
And it's, essentially a battle between good and evil, the mom trying to keep him from becoming Satan's
Yeah.
son.
Right.
It's
And
like
you can see the son is torn, too, between becoming
Yes.
that and leaving it. And
yeah. It's like a Woodland Critter Christmas, except with humans instead of
Yeah.
animals. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked this one too. I thought it was interesting when the principal was sitting down with the mom and the other
Yeah, see, that was
girl's
cool.
mom
That
and
was
was
cool.
That's
"Your
when you
son
finally realize-
ripped my daughter's fingernails off," and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
so aggressive."
Yeah.
And then she finds the fingernails under his bed in a
I
box.
think there was a combination of his clipping of his toenails.
Yeah.
And the fingernails he
Yeah.
was ripping off people, apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
and then the weird thing when they said that he was a prodigy and he's they were okay with it.
Yeah.
Like
Well, yeah,
the
because they're
school was,
also
"Oh,
they're
right
also
with everything?"
they are
They're
Satanists.
they're a cult.
Yeah. It was all
that's their
very
savior.
Yeah, it was all very, very strange. But it was.
Grossest scene in this movie was in the beginning when he's cracking eggs.
Oh my god!
And he just pulls out the gross bloody
that was
fucking thing
Yes.
and eats it. I was like,
Nasty.
oh,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Disgusting. Stop that.
Yeah.
I wrote that down in one of my notes. I was like, he's eating blood in the egg. I put it all in caps.
Oh, God,
it was like
yikes.
blood in the
gross,
egg.
gross.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it essentially, and you know, it's kind of ambiguous at the beginning as to what actually happened because you get those flashback scenes of, you know, her being told by the doctor to leave and all that stuff. But yeah, come to find out that her son is showing very, very strong signs of being a future serial killer. He's abusing the dog and killing squirrels and ripping fingernails off girls at school. And come to find out that he might be the son of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially there's a showdown between the mom and the son at the end. Or I should say the mom and Satan trying to get her son to stay on the good side as opposed to moving over to the dark side.
And the mailman was like Satan's angel, kind of like watching over him or something.
He was also in the cult.
He was also in the cult.
They were all, the whole town was, except for like a few people, like the woman that, you know, her daughter's fingernails were ripped off.
Yeah. What do you guys think of this one? You like it?
I thought it was good. It was pretty predictable, but
Yeah.
it was enjoyable to watch. I liked the way they did it.
Yeah. I would say my only critique of this segment would kind of be my critique overall of the whole movie. I wanted to know more. I wanted to see more.
Yeah.
I respect that they kind of kept things ambiguous, but for my personal taste, I like to have things shown to me and explained to me.
So
Yeah.
I understood what was going on, but I would want to know more. I wanted to know more about what was happening. You know, I wanted to see what their incarnation of Satan looked like. I wanted to see all that shit.
yeah.
You know?
I think they didn't bother with that because they were trying to get you to look at like the deeper meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the name of it is Her Only Living Son. In the Bible, it's God's only begotten son. So
Right.
this is the devil's child, so it's her, but she's the mother.
Right.
Where was I going with this? I had a train of thought. So it basically goes like Jesus died, based off the Bible, whatever you believe, I don't care. Jesus died for us, for our sins. She died for her son's sins at the end, essentially. Like, she gave her only begotten life. And her son died, too. They
both died.
Yeah,
they
they
both died, but she gave up pretty much her entire life for her son.
Right.
So it's like, almost like... You can definitely tell this is directed by women. Obviously, I'm not saying there's anything
Yes.
wrong with that,
No,
but
but
you
there's
can
a lot
definitely
of-
see that,
yeah.
you know, there's a lot of power...
Female undertones.
A lot of female
They're
power
running themes throughout
this.
the entire. I think they're running themes throughout, except for "Don't Fall." Like, I think the other segments have a very strong
Absolutely.
theme.
That's
of,
why it's like, why
motherhood.
was that in
yeah,
it? Like,
yeah.
I like that segment.
That's why it's the worst.
I just think I would have liked to see one more that like tied in with the other ones that was a little bit more along the same lines because I think there was a lot more to be desired.
Yeah.
All really good, but that's my only issue is I like the third one, but that should have been in like that belonged more in like a Southbound
Yeah.
type of anthology. It didn't really belong in this one.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like the mom and the son kind of remind me of the relationship to the mom and the son in the Babadook.
Little bit.
Like,
yeah.
in that kind of sense where the mom's just like
Mom hates the
constantly
kid.
tired, hates the kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the kid's just like, I could imagine that
Well,
would
this
be...
was the opposite. The kid hates the mom.
Right.
The mom loves the kid
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Poor Kate. She makes him the cake and he doesn't even look at it.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
Bastard.
Hey, Satan,
Little
get over
fucker.
here and
Yeah.
eat your cake.
Eat your fucking
Yeah.
cake, Satan.
I slaved over this all night.
Hail Satan.
Yeah. I liked that one. That was a good segment.
Yeah.
And at the end, they just like kind of cripple up and shrivel up and die on the floor.
Yeah, they died battling Satan. Hail
Yeah.
Satan.
You think Satan would have just killed the mom and been like, "You're coming with me, bitch."
Well, yeah. But then she's like, you have a choice. You don't have to do this.
That's
like,
the other thing too. We are given a choice.
Yes.
Always
That's true.
comes down
always
to
choice. You
a
always
choice.
have a choice in everything. That is for sure. That is for sure. What segment did you guys like the best?
Ooh.
I'm going to do the birthday party.
Okay, Andrew. I think I like the box.
I think it's
like
the box,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's probably the box.
Box or
as
Don't
well.
Fall.
Because
I really liked, yeah.
that's a good segment to start with because it gets you interested in the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's without that. Like if you had started with say, even I do like the birthday party, but if you had started with that one, I don't know if I'd be as invested in the
Yeah,
movie.
that wouldn't have grabbed my attention the way the box did.
The box just had an overarching just
Morbid,
theme of
yeah.
dread and more very morbid
Yeah.
and just the
Yeah.
way it was shot, the mom just with no care of anything, like it just kind of
Yeah.
was interesting.
I actually, well, if we were gonna really break it down, I like the in-betweens the best. Like, I could probably watch the in-betweens for like 5 hours. The like stop motion things.
Yeah.
Like
for 5 hours? Would you
Oh,
insane?
yeah. Those are cool.
You a serial killer?
Do you know how many times you'd have to watch that on loop for it to fill 5 hours?
No, it'd just be more. Like, it'd be more stop motion stuff.
So you watch a 5-hour stop motion movie. I can't get you to sit still for a movie that's 2 hours long, and you will want to watch 5 hours of stop motion animation.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know how long that would take? Like 5 years.
So literally, so just so you guys know, a little peek behind the curtain here. So anytime that we go see a new released movie and we cover it on the podcast, I don't tell Kat how long the movie is until we're literally about to walk into the theater, because automatically her response is, "Oh, Jesus Christ, it's fucking 2 hours long. It's an hour and 40 minutes long."
Do you not
every
Google
time.
the movie before you see it?
No,
You
not
don't
at
go
all.
to just go, oh, I wonder how long this is.
Yeah.
Nope.
You
The host
just
of a
wander on
horror
in.
movie-based podcast hates seeing movies, in fact.
I'm not good at sitting still. And
Yeah,
it's just
no
really
shit.
tough for me to sit through a whole movie. Like, I'm like, oh, I could be doing so many other things right now.
If I can sit through
You're like a
Scream,
child.
I am.
then
Yeah.
you can deal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Scream was 2 hours long. That
I
was,
understand, yeah.
It didn't feel like it was that long, but it was long. It was long, for sure.
I wonder what the longest movie we've seen in theaters since we started doing this was.
I
Doctor
think
Sleep, maybe? Actually, well, Doctor
didn't
Sleep,
see
we didn't
that.
see that in theaters.
Us? No. Did we see that in theaters? No.
Good question.
We did.
No.
We saw
Oh,
Us.
We did see Us in theaters.
Wait, there is. I'm blanking on it, but there definitely was one we saw like semi-recently that was very long.
Nightmare Alley.
Was
Nightmare
it?
Alley was long.
that was long. What was the one that we saw at the...
Plymouth
Soho.
Plantation?
Last night in
Oh,
Soho.
yeah.
I was saying Soho.
Oh, you're rocking the Creepshow shirt today? Under the hoodie?
I
Yeah.
have bleach all over my hoodie
Yeah.
somehow, too. I'm
Yeah.
pissed.
Oh,
I
God
don't know
damn
how
it.
that fucking happened. I haven't been playing with bleach lately.
Guys, would you welcome a XX Part 2 or Triple
yeah.
X?
Absolutely.
Another all-female directed anthology?
Always.
Fuck yeah, dude. I would too. I
Do you
think.
think there? Wait, there's not gonna be though.
Well, it came out in 2017, so we're within. It's now almost 5
Yeah.
years, but it's there have been longer times between sequels. I just think with any anthology movie, you don't really need to
Yeah.
continue the plot line of the first movie. You can just do an all-female directed
Yeah, and they just do the
different
same
stories.
thing. Yeah,
So I would love to see it.
I'm all for more anthologies. I don't care.
Listen, I think the fact that we're doing a Janthology month speaks to how much we love anthology movies. So I am all for all of the anthology movies. Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me more.
Yes.
Maybe 5
please.
hours of the stop motion stuff.
Yeah, give Kat 5
Why
hours.
don't you direct that
5
in the
hours of
basement?
stop motion, and and then also put the old man playing chess with himself, the Pixar
Jerry's
short,
Game.
on loop, and Kat will watch that and just
Just do Jerry's Game with stop motion.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that?
No, because that's like a cartoon.
I am aware,
I can
but you
picture
can still try it.
I can picture you in front of the TV watching that like Elaine when she stops having sex in Seinfeld and she gets dumb and she's watching those tires spinning on top of each other and she's just like, woo, yay. Oh, anyway, I digress. Guys,
Drinking iced tea mixed with some fruit.
yeah,
Oh my
iced
God,
tea mixed with
stop
fruit punch.
making
you
fun of
fucking-
me.
You
My
fucking
drink.
weirdo. Guys, any final thoughts on XX before we sign off?
If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Yes,
all
that's
I
always a
gotta
good
say.
parting thought. If you haven't seen it, watch it. One that we
At the
say
end of the
every week.
podcast,
Yes.
if you haven't seen it, watch it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it's a good movie. If you
Yeah.
don't like
Yeah.
it,
I
then
like
go
it.
fuck yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
The whole Janthology thing is pretty fun. I like
Yeah,
this.
it
This
is.
is good. Yeah, this
And,
was
you
a good
know,
one.
What I'll say what I always say about anthologies. It's only as good as the last segment, and if you didn't like the last segment, there's a whole new segment with a different story that you can watch. So
Yeah, and it's a hour and
Yeah.
20 minutes. It's
Yeah.
a quick watch.
yeah. This was very quick, so you were easily sold on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, quick! A movie that's the length of a TV show almost.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah,
That was like the same with that
Yeah.
Grizzly 2. It was like 76
Yeah.
minutes long. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
thank God. Because that movie could have been 45 minutes long if you cut out
Yeah.
all the concert scenes.
Yeah.
You know what was a wicked long movie too? Was It Chapter 2. That I think was like almost 3 hours long when we saw
Yeah.
that, which was awesome.
But those Stephen King movies are always
Want to
long.
hear about it?
I'm not even gonna get into this.
Yeah, I feel like when you direct like the epic Stephen King adaptations like It Chapter 2, Doctor Sleep, The Shining, there's
Green
so
Mile.
much going on. Yeah, Green Mile, I mean, The Stand. I mean, Jesus, the book is
Oh my God.
1,000 pages long.
I one time rented. This was back in VHS world where you went to go to like Blockbuster to rent movies,
Yeah.
and I rented. It was a rainy day in Marshfield. We didn't have internet or anything in the beach house, and I rented The Stand. 4 VHS tapes, 8
Oh, yeah.
hours.
Oh, yeah.
one movie, like, I was like, oh my God. I watched all of them. It was amazing, but it was very, very long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very, 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 very strange. Very, very strange.
4 tapes long.
And long. And long.
4 VHSs.
Actually, hot take. The Stand might be one of my least favorite Stephen King stories.
I like Storm of the Century, too.
Storm of the Century's fantastic. Storm of the Century, actually, not even a book, was written for the screen by Stephen King, so it was never actually a book or a novel. Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, XX. It's been another installment in Janthology. This has been a fun theme this month. I actually really like this. We got 2 more, and this week we are going to do 2 episodes. So we have Nightmare Cinema coming up next, and we're going to close out the month with Body Bags next week, and then
Body Bags.
We got to figure out what we want to do for February. So
I was going to say, so is this gonna, if we have 2 left, is it going to run into February?
No, because we can do another one this week, and then we can do one next week, and that'll be the last week in January.
Next week's February.
No, it's not. Well, next week is January into February.
Oh, okay.
I thought February starts next Tuesday.
Next Wednesday.
A week from Wednesday.
Next Tuesday. So if we record on Monday, we can put it out where it'll be the end of whatever. Anyway, we got 2 more.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Nightmare Cinema and Body Bags. But anyway, if you're interested in more of what we have to say, here's where you can find us online. You can go to our website. That's ahpod.com. That's ahhpod.com. That's AHH for America's Hometown Horror. You can also find us on YouTube and Facebook. Just go on there, search for America's Hometown Horror, and you'll find us. We're also on Twitter at Hometown Horror, and we're on Instagram at Hometown Horror Pod. And you can email us, hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com, if you want to chat. Go right ahead and do that. You can also find our show pretty much wherever you're listening right now. Also, we're on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, and probably many, many more spaces. That's one of our ravenous fans texting Andrew to say hello right now. My name is Mike. I am the host of the show. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of America's Hometown Horror. Another episode of Janthology. We got a couple more. As I mentioned, I've been joined by my esteemed co-hosts, Kat and Andrew. Say goodbye to your listeners, folks.
Adios, muchachos.
See you in hell.
Hey, good evening. I am hungover. Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners. If you are interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I would highly recommend you check out some shows by our cohorts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. That's right, the Inebriart Podcast Network, folks. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find the Inebriart Podcast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, Retro Redoctopus, and Old Colony Cast. Head on over and give them a listen.